All right, it is 11:28, and we promised that we would start up as soon as we could, as soon as we get through with the church service. So it is March the 27th, the last Sunday of March, and so we will start now with the town update. Thank you for being here and being on with us. And if I could have your attention, please. We are starting the board update. So if you can have a seat, you're welcome to do that. Thank you. So we always start all of our meetings off with, again, remembering who it is that we are and what it is that we are here for, what this church is. Why does this church exist? And if we're not in alignment with what it is that we are, we also want to know that. So we always ask everyone, if you find that we're not in alignment with who it is that we're here to be, please let us know. Because we do not want to be who we were. We want to be who we are and who we are here to be. So if you find that we are acting in a manner of not enough, distrusting, grieving, blaming, powerless, or fearful, please remind us. Please remind us. Because who we are here to be is loving in integrity, unstoppable, spirit-led, empowered, in ownership, and transformational. And so it is, and so we let it be. Today's board update and town hall is going to be fairly short. That's the reason that we decided that we would come right on into this as we continue to live stream. And Jerry, will you join me? We really have only two major announcements to make. The first one involves what Jerry's been working on for the last...
Let's not go there, okay? It's been a long time.
It's been a while. And Jerry and I appreciate the fact that there have been concerns that have been voiced of why is it taking so long? What's going on, Jer?
You know, it's all in divine order. It's not
Amen.
It's not our order. If it could have been our way, we would have had it done months ago. And you know what? We might have had challenges. So the opportunity we had, I want to first of all express appreciation. We've had a wonderful search committee who's done great work. And they're tirelessly brought forth 7 applicants this time around. And this is not their first run. This is a second run. And out of those 7, there are 5 that the board has interviewed. And as expresses up here, is the board's going to have another meeting today. We've spent a lot of time together recently.
We have grown to love one another.
We have, even from afar on Zoom, okay? But we have grown to appreciate the opportunities we have to work together.
Amen.
And so we're going to be in prayer and discernment and discussion, be some laughter and some tears and some sharing of thoughts and ideas, and I'm sure that we're going to come out with what our next right step is, and I have no idea what that's going to be.
Well, it will be right, because we are working on following our divinity, following the overall essence of order, the order that we have as a church and as people. And so what will happen now, as long as we continue to be centered, will be in divine order.
Yeah.
Amen and amen.
That's where we are.
The other thing that happened during our last board meeting this past week on Thursday, was the election of officers. And I want to share with you, I'll be president for another year, and Jerry is the vice president.
And I'm 3 days into that role, so I haven't messed up yet.
Amen. And what we generally try doing is selecting a vice president that can move into president in a year. And I will be off of the board in a year because I will have finished my 6 years as 2 terms. So it will be a forced retirement for a year at least, and maybe for longer than that. And so, Jerry, thank you.
So you're really counting on me retiring this year, then, right?
I am planning on retiring this year. There's no question about that. And,
so what about the other officers?
Why don't you tell us who they all are?
Well, okay, so our secretary is Latrice Mitchell-Campbell, and she's stepped into that role perfectly. She was assistant secretary prior, and then we have Debbie Catania. Hey, Debbie, raise your hand. Say hello. Camera on Debbie, please. Okay. And I want to let you know that she is going to continue as our treasurer, and she has done a wonderful job of building policies so
Amen.
that other treasurers will be able to move into that position with a structure already in place.
And then the assistant secretary.
Oh, the assistant secretary, Jan Fitzgerald. Thank you for pointing that out to me.
Yes, Jan jumped in and said, "I will do that."
Did she do really?
Well, it was a little bit outside of where she felt a comfort zone to be, but she said, "I'll do it."
But she did agree. And then the vice treasurer, assistant treasurer is Ralph. Ralph's always, he likes the money. Okay, so.
Yeah. So Ralph will jump in and do that one. And so we bless and we appreciate very much all 6 of the board officers. 6?
Yeah.
Yeah, 6 of the board officers. So it's a little hard right now being on the board and not having an office. 6 out of 9 have to take an office or are blessed with being able to assume a position within the board officers' executive team. And we are very grateful for those who have stepped forward. That is really the information I wanted to give with regards to that part. And then I would like for Debbie to come up and join us and give you a treasurer's report update for the month of February.
So our donations for the month of February were a little bit more than $11,000. Other income, which is the income that we get from space allocation and people using our facilities, was $14,000. So you're looking at a total income of $25,000 plus a little. The cost of direct revenue are our tithes. This is what it costs for us to receive this money. Tithes and bank fees, some from credit card usage, credit card income, and some from just regular bank fees. So that gives us... No, you didn't. But, well, it's approximately $22,000. Yeah, $22,000 in net revenue. And our expenses, however, were about $27,000. So that gave us a net ordinary income for the month of February at $5,923.74. And so, anything more?
No, and that obviously was a net negative income for that month.
Yes.
But do you want to give the folk a little bit of an idea? I know that you did at the annual meeting of where we were overall with last year during the year of 2021.
Yeah, we actually were able to hold our own. And thank you very much for the generosity of this congregation, entire congregation. We utilized $33,000 in PPP loans. That's payroll protection, federal loan that was forgiven. And so, this was money received that we were able to offset our shortfalls. In addition, we were able to take $25,000 of our 2020 fundraiser and add them to the operational budget so that we did come out ahead last year. This year, we continue to try to push forward so that we can, at least balance out our budget. And I look forward to a whole lot more prosperity. I see that we have been prosperous in this time that we've been going through all of the difficulties that we've gone through. And because of that, the generosity that comes from our congregation. And I see more of that as we start to open our doors and as we start to see more familiar faces coming back into the chapel. It is incredibly heartwarming for me when I see old familiar faces, smiles that, we used to see before starting to come back. So thank you, everyone, for sticking with us.
Exactly, and I want to make sure that it's clear that the 25,000 she was talking about that was moved over into covering expenses for this year, that was raised specifically for that purpose, so that we could use it as a buffer and to be able to help us with ordinary income. So we did not move anything that we did not plan on doing, and that was in the fundraising letter that went out, very much so. And we are so blessed that we have got a generous congregation, as you said, and people have continued, even if they're not here in these pews or in these seats, to continue to bless us with their resources in both direct payroll, direct deposits into the church, etc. So blessings and blessings. Thank you, thank you.
Thomas, can you repeat again what you said earlier about our masking in the chapel and our seating?
Sure, be happy to do that. What we will be following the state's mandates, okay? And at the present time, the state does not mandate the use of masks. But what we are trying to do here is to utilize masks as much as we can, period. But if, in fact, we don't want to be able to wear a mask, or we would like to not wear a mask, we ask that you kind of set off to the side so that you're outside in the open air. If you decide that you want to sit inside the sanctuary and you want to take a mask off, we just ask that you are cognizant of, respectful of those that are around you. So ask before you take a mask off if it's okay with the people that are sitting around you that are within 6 to 12 feet. Is it okay with you if I don't wear a mask?
So what I also understand is that we're going to be lifting the ribbons from the seats tonight.
Yay!
But it goes in keeping what you said as maintaining personal responsibility and consideration for those around us to maintain safe distancing.
Amen.
So we
Amen.
will be able to sit where we want. We'll just be mindful of how we're in proximity with others around us.
Exactly. And we do have a mature membership. A lot of us,
like white hair or no hair?
A lot of us are very mature, very mature. And by being, some of us have got a little bit of some concerns with our overall health. We are not quite 16-year-olds with the stamina of a 16-year-old, quite the same.
Speak for yourself.
There you go. And so we do want to make sure that we are cognizant and we are honoring those who may have a little bit of a concern with regards to health. The other thing that I mentioned was we do have a preschool here. And I know that you all know we have a preschool here. And by having a preschool, there are parameters that they have to follow that are different than they are for a church. Granted, they are not here on Saturday and Sunday. Most of the time they're not. And so we can do a little bit more of what it is that we want to do, but on weekdays, we still need to be cognizant of the state's mandates for the preschool so that we are wearing masks, particularly if we ever go into the confines. The good part is, before long, we're going to have the preschool completely housed within the education building, we think. When that happens, it's going to be much easier for us to be able to be out here and they be able to wear the masks and all within the confines of the walls / fences / artificial barriers of having them separated and protected a little bit better. So that's a very positive plus. Are there questions anybody has for the board? I know it's not going to be the easiest, and I apologize for the live streamers because being able to get questions answered for anybody that is out on live stream today is not going to be as easy. And we won't generally do it this way. We'll try to do the Zoom, but because there was such a short amount of information that we needed to give you from the last board meeting, it was primarily the election of officers. We wanted to be able to do it this way today. Any questions, though, that anybody here in the audience has that they've got a question about it? Burning question for the board or anything else? All right, well, seeing none, if you will, stand with me and we will sing, weave, weave, weave us together as we close. And if you want to come into a circle, you can. If you want to stay right where you are, that's fine too. I don't have Ralph here to help lead me as we get ready to go, so we'll just do it on our own. Weave, weave us together, weave us together in unity and love. Weave, weave, weave us together, weave us together in unity and love. Blessings to each and every one of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being here. Aloha.